Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Giri Varadari Yashoda Nandana Rajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is my favorite part of the day. Hearing and chanting is my favorite part of the day. So let's read the introduction. Om Jnana Tirmandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Omlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mayam Daranti Swa Parantikam Bande Ham Shri Guru Ta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Saragura Jatam Saha Gana Ragunat Tanvitam Tam Sadvi Jivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saha Gana Lalita Shri Visha Kanvitamscha. Hey Krishna Karana Sindho Dina Bando Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kancha Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. I offer my respects to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold, and who is the queen of Vrindavan. You are the daughter of King Vrishabhanu, and you are very dear to Lord Krishna. I like that. Vancha Kalpatarubhischa Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Rewind. Vancha Kalpatarubhischa Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhatta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Continuing on reading from chapter 1, we are reading text 35 purport. Okay. The Lord will satisfy the senses of the living entities as much as they deserve, but not to the extent that they may covet. Okay. As much as you deserve. Interesting. But when one takes the opposite way, namely, when one tries to satisfy the senses of Govinda without desiring to satisfy one's own senses, then by the grace of Govinda, all desires of the living entity are satisfied. That's an important point, okay? Because everyone in this material world, more or less, they're trying to satisfy their senses through like food, entertainment, sex, things like that. Let's be real. Okay, everyone in this material world, if you observe, that's what they are doing. But if you instead trying to satisfy your senses, focus on satisfying Krishna's senses. So how do you satisfy Krishna's senses? With devotional activities like hearing and chanting, kirtan, preaching, public chanting and dancing. That's how you satisfy Krishna's senses. Okay. Offering things to Krishna with love. Are you an Indian? No, I'm not Indian. I'm a white American. I'm from America. I'm American. I'm a spirit soul, ultimately. We are not American. We are not Indian. We are spirit souls. Where was I? Okay. Yeah. So focus on, instead of focusing on satisfying your senses, practice like satisfying Krishna's senses. Okay. Practice doing that. Just practice. Practice makes perfect. Really proud of you. Thank you. I'm proud of you too. I spent a lot of time in India. I've been in India. I lived in India for many years. I lived in Sri Vrindavan Dham for many years too. But now I'm back in America. But I'm still preaching. I was a monk. I lived in temples, and I still preach. I still preach Krishna consciousness. The only difference is I don't like do as much public preaching like I used to. I don't do as much book distribution. I don't like do public chanting as much as I used to. I miss it actually. I need to do more of it. It's fun. I actually enjoy doing that, but life. Okay, let's keep reading. Arjuna's deep affection for community and family members is exhibited here partly due to his natural compassion for them. He is therefore not prepared to fight. Everyone wants to show his opulence to friends and relatives. Yeah, everybody wants to flex their opulences, right? Just a peaceful life in the divine. Yeah, that's it. Just got to be as, Krishna conscious as you can be. Be as spiritual as you can possibly be, because everything else is temporary. But at the end of the day, we're going to die. So we want to be connected to God as much as possible. So hopefully we can go back to the spiritual world and live a life of eternal bliss with God instead of coming back to the material world. We don't want to come back here. I don't want to come back here. Birth, death, old age, and disease. No thanks. Right? Everyone wants to show his opulence to friends and relatives, right? If you have a lot of opulence, you like to show it off. If you're rich, you want to hey, look at my Porsche. That's just normal. But Arjuna fears that his relatives and friends will be killed in the battlefield, and he will be unable to share his opulence after victory. This is a typical calculation of material life. The transcendental life is, however, different. Since a devotee wants to satisfy the desires of the Lord, he can, Lord willing, accept all kinds of opulence for the service of the Lord, and if the Lord is not willing, he should not accept a farthing. Arjuna did not want to kill his relatives, and if there were any need to kill them, he desired that Krishna kill them personally. This is Bhagavad-Gita As It Is. This is Bhagavad-Gita As It Is from Srila Prabhupada. It's his translation. This is the first book that I read, first spiritual book from India that I read, and it changed my life. And I read this book over 20 years ago. It changed my life. And I still read this book, as you can see. Where was I? Divine background music. Yeah. I mean, ISKCON. This is like an ISKCON book. This is a typical calculation of material life. The transcendental life, however, is different. Since the devotee wants to satisfy... Arjuna did not want to kill his relatives, and if there were any need to kill them, he desired that Krishna kill them personally. At this point, he did not know that Krishna had already killed them before their coming into the battlefield, and that he was only to become an instrument for Krishna. So this was all predestined. They say everything is predestined. Our whole life is already predestined. That's what they say, right? Like this whole battle was already predestined. It was already so it was up to Krishna. It was up to Arjuna whether he wanted to become an instrument for Krishna or not. The fact is disclosed in the following chapters. As a natural devotee of the Lord, Arjuna did not like to retaliate against his miscreant cousins and brothers, but it was the Lord's plan that they should all be killed. See, Arjuna didn't want to kill everybody. He didn't want to kill the Kuru dynasty. He didn't want to do that, but Krishna wanted it to happen because they were misbehaving. The devotee of the Lord does not retaliate against the wrongdoer, but the Lord does not tolerate any mischief done to the devotee by the miscreants. The Lord can excuse a person on his own account, but he excuses no one who has done harm to his devotees. Don't hurt devotees. Therefore, the Lord was determined to kill the miscreants, although Arjuna wanted to excuse them. The Krishna monk, his body is still preserved instead of reading fastly. Reading fastly. I like to read fastly. Text 36. Papam ivashrayad asman haitvaitan atat taina tasman nahar vayan hatum dhartarashtran swabandavan swajanam hi katam hatva shukana syama madhava. Word for word translation. Papam, vices, eva, certainly, ashrayat, must take upon, asman, us, hatva, by killing, etan, all these, atat, taina, aggressors, tasmat, therefore, na, never, aha, deserving, vayam, us, hantam, to kill, Dhritarashtra, the sons of Dhritarashtra, Swabandavan, along with his friends, Swajanam, kinsman, he, certainly, katam, how, hatva, by killing, sukina, happy, shama, become, or syama, become, Madhava, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune, Madhava. No. I mean, if you want to read, you can read slowly with emotions and empathy if you want. This is how I read. If you don't like it, cool. Okay, purport. According to Vedic injunctions, okay, translation. Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune? And how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen? Purport. According to Vedic injunctions, there are 6 kinds of aggressors: a poison giver, one who sets fire to the house, one who attacks with deadly weapons, one who plunders riches, one who occupies another's land, and one who kidnaps a wife. Such aggressors are at once to be killed, and no sin is incurred by killing such aggressors. Such killing of aggressors is quite befitting for any ordinary man, but Arjuna was not an ordinary person. He was saintly by character, and therefore he wanted to deal with them in saintliness. This kind of saintliness, however, is not for a Kshatriya. Although a responsible man in the administration of a state is required to be saintly, he should not be cowardly. For example, Lord Ram, who was so saintly that the people were anxious to live in his kingdom, Ram Raj, but Lord Ram never showed any cowardice. I mean, a Kshatriya, he's a warrior. He shouldn't be cowardly, right? Obviously. Ravana was an aggressor against Ram because he kidnapped Ram's wife, Sita. But Lord Ram gave him sufficient lessons, unparalleled in the history of the world. In Arjuna's case, however, one should consider the special type of aggressors, namely his own grandfather, own teacher, friends, sons, grandsons, etc. Because of them, Arjuna thought that he should not take the severe steps necessary against ordinary aggressors. Arjuna thought because these were his relatives, that maybe he shouldn't fight them. But no, that's not what Krishna said. Krishna's like, no, you must fight them because they are aggressors. They are miscreants. So you must fight them. Besides that, saintly persons are advised to forgive. Such injunctions for saintly persons are more important than any political emergency. Forgiveness. Arjuna considered that rather than kill his own kinsmen for political reasons, it would be better to forgive them on grounds of religion and saintly behavior. He did not therefore consider such killing profitable simply for the matter of temporary bodily happiness. After all, kingdoms and pleasures derived therefrom are not permanent. So why should he risk his life and eternal salvation by killing his own kinsmen? That was Arjuna's thinking. But Krishna wanted it to. But these guys were demons. You got to kill the demons, man. You got to fight against the demons. It's good. There's good and bad, in this world. As you can see, even today, there's good and bad. There's people that are just go out of their way to hurt others, demons, and they should be destroyed. There's no place for demons, right? The good versus evil has been going on since the beginning of time. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Canto 1, Chapter 7. Translation, where we're on text 43. She could not tolerate Ashvatthama's being bound by ropes and being a devoted lady. She said, she could not tolerate Ashvatthama's being bound by ropes and being a devoted lady. She said, release him, for he is a Brahmana, our spiritual master. Purport. As soon as Ashvatthama was brought before Draupadi, she thought it intolerable that a Brahmana should be arrested like a culprit and brought before her in the condition, especially when the Brahmana happened to be a teacher's son. Arjuna arrested Ashvatthama knowing perfectly well that he was the son of Dronacharya. Krishna also knew him to be so, but both of them condemned the murder without consideration of his being the son of a Brahmana. According to revealed scriptures, a teacher or spiritual master is liable to be rejected if he proves himself unworthy of the position of a guru or a spiritual master. So you can reject a guru if he proves himself unworthy. A guru is called also an acharya, or a person who has personally assimilated all the essence of shastras and has helped his disciples to adopt the ways. Ashvatthama failed to discharge the duties of a Brahmana or teacher, and therefore he was liable to be rejected from the exalted position of a Brahmana. On this consideration, both Lord Sri Krishna and Arjuna were right in condemning Ashvatthama, but to a good lady like Draupadi, the matter was considered not from the angle of shastric vision, but as a matter of custom. By custom, Ashvatthama was offered the same respect as offered to his father. It was so because generally the people accept the son of a Brahmana as a real Brahmana by sentiment only. Factually, the matter is different. A Brahmana is accepted on the merit of qualification and not on the merit of simply being the son of a Brahmana. It's not by birth that you're considered a Brahmana, like so many people like to think. It's based on your qualification, okay? And some people don't like that. It's tough cookies. But in spite of all of this, Draupadi desired that Ashvatthama be at once released, and it was all the same a good sentiment for her. This means that a devotee of the Lord can tolerate all sorts of tribulation personally, but still such devotees are never unkind to others, even to the enemy. These are the characteristics of one who is a pure devotee of the Lord. Very tolerant of other people. Okay, easier said than done though, right? Text 44. Saha sarahasyo danur veda savi sargo pasam yama ashtra gramash chabhavata shikshito yad anugrahat. Word for word translation. Sarahasya, confidential. Danu Veda, knowledge in the art of manipulating bows and arrows. Savisharga, releasing. Upasam yamana, controlling. Astra, weapons. Grama, all kinds of. Cha and bhavata, by yourself. Shikshita, learned. Yat, by whose. Anugrahat, mercy of. Translation. It was by Dronacharya's mercy that you learned the military art of throwing arrows and the confidential art of controlling weapons. Purport. Dhanurveda, or military science, was taught by Dronacharya with all its confidential secrets of throwing and controlling by Vedic hymns. Gross military science is dependent on material weapons, but finer than that is the art of throwing the arrows saturated with Vedic hymns, which act more effectively than gross material weapons like machine guns or atomic bombs. You used to be able to have, weapons with just like hymns, like wizards. It is said in the Ramayana that Maharaj Darsharat, the father of Lord Sri Ram, used to control arrows by sound only. Crazy, huh? He could pierce his target with his arrow by only hearing the sound without seeing the object. So this is a finer military science than that of the gross military weapons used nowadays. Arjuna was taught all this, and therefore Draupadi wished that Arjuna feel obliged to Acharya Drona for all these benefits. And in the absence of Dronacharya, his son was his representative. That was the opinion of the good lady Draupadi. It may be argued why Dronacharya, a rigid Brahmana, should be a teacher in military science. But the reply is that a Brahmana should become a teacher, regardless of what his department of knowledge is. A learned Brahmin should become a teacher, a priest, a recipient of charity. A bona fide Brahmin isn't authorized to accept such professions. Like me, I have Brahminical qualifications because I teach. Whether you like it or not, I'm a teacher. That's what I do. I teach. So you should give me donations. But see, nowadays in Kali Yuga, nobody follows, Varnashram. It doesn't even work anymore. Like, people don't give donations to the Brahmanas in general, right? How many people follow that? So that's why in Kali Yuga, we chant the holy name of God. There's no other way. Kalo nastevya, 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 and katiranyata. In this age of Kali, we don't care about Varnashram Dharma. We don't care about all these rules and regulations. The main thing is chanting Hare Krishna. And the best to do is in public. That's even better. Public chanting is better than private chanting. because the holy name of Krishna is not different than Krishna. So when you go out and chant in public, you're benefiting other people. Okay, it's better to chant in public than it is to chant in private. Even Haridas Thakur says in Chaitanya Bhagavat that the most spiritual activity you can do is public chanting and dancing, which is my favorite activity. I don't do it so much anymore right now. I will again, but different phases in life. But I did a lot of it. Text 45. Sa esha bhagavandrona prajarupena vartate tasyatmano didam patnyaste nanvagad varushu kripi. Sa hi esha, certainly Bhagavan Lord Dronacharya prajarupena, in the form of his son Ashvatthama. Vartate is existing, tasya his, atmana of the body, ardyam half, patni. Okay, continuing on. Reading from Krishna book. I love this stuff. This is my favorite part of the day. Reading, hearing, and chanting is my favorite part of the day. Okay. The birth of Lord Krishna. It is also said that the qualities of passion and ignorance are non-existent in the person of the Supreme Lord. My Lord, you are the Supreme Controller, the personality of Godhead, the Supreme Great, maintaining the order of this cosmic manifestation. And in spite of your being the Supreme Controller, you have so kindly appeared in my home. The purpose of your appearance is to kill the followers of the demoniac rulers of the world, who are in the dress of royal princes, but are actually demons. There's a lot of demons in the world. Whether you like it or not, this world is full of demons. I am sure that you will kill all of them and their followers and soldiers. So now instead of killing the demons, we purify the demons by public chanting and dancing. That's why we distribute books. That's why we publicly chant and dance. That's why we distribute prasadam, spiritualized food, because instead of killing the demons, we purify the demons. That's what we do in Kali Yuga. I understand that you have appeared in order to kill the uncivilized Kamsa and his followers. But knowing that you were to appear in order to kill him and his followers, he has already killed so many of your predecessors, your elder brothers. Now he is simply awaiting the news of your birth. As soon as he hears about it, he will immediately appear with all kinds of weapons to kill you. After this prayer of Vasudev, Devaki, the mother of Krishna, offered her prayers. She was very frightened because of her brother's atrocities. Devaki said, "My dear Lord, your eternal forms like Narayan, Lord Ram, Shirsha, Varaha, Nrsimha, Vamana, Baladev, and millions of similar incarnations emanating from Vishnu are described in Vedic literature as original. You are original because all your forms as incarnations are outside of this material creation. Your forms are eternal and all-pervading. They are also self-effulgent, changeless, and uncontaminated by the material qualities. Such eternal forms are ever cognizant and full of bliss. They are situated in transcendental goodness and are always engaged in different pastimes. You are not limited to a particular form only. All such transcendental eternal forms are self-sufficient. I can understand that you are the Supreme Lord Vishnu. After millions of years, when Lord Brahma comes to the end of his life, the annihilation of the cosmic manifestation takes place. At that time, the 5 elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, and ether, enter into the Mahatattva. The Mahatattva then enters by the force of time into the non-manifested total material energy. The total material energy enters into the energetic pradhan, and the pradhan enters into you. Therefore, after annihilation of the whole cosmic manifestation, you alone remain with your transcendental name, form, qualities, and paraphernalia. Everything comes from Krishna. Everything comes from God. The whole universe, it comes out of God and then it comes back in. Everything's energy at the end of the day. Everything's energy, spiritual energy and material energy, but it's all energy. It all comes from Krishna, the source. My Lord, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you because you are the director of the unmanifested total energy, total energy, and the ultimate reservoir of the material nature. My Lord, the whole cosmic manifestation is under the influence of time, beginning from the moment up to the duration of the year. All act under your direction. Therefore, you are the original director of everything and the reservoir of all potent energies. All the conditioned souls are continually fleeing from one body to another and one planet to another, yet they do not get free from the onslaught of birth and death. But when one of these fearful living entities comes under the shelter of your lotus feet, he can lie down without anxiety of being attacked by formidable death. fearful living entities. Everyone, there's so much fear in the world, There's so much fear. Even you can see in the animals, right? Like if you go outside, I went outside today, there were some squirrels. And as soon as I opened the door, they're freaked out. They're all afraid. They run away. So much fear. This statement by Devaki is confirmed in the Bhagavad-Gita by the Lord himself. There the Lord says that even after traveling all over the universe from Brahmaloka to Pataloka, one cannot escape the attack of birth, death, disease, and old age. But one who enters the kingdom of God, the Lord says, is never again obliged to come to the material world. Some people try to go to the heavenly planets, but then they have to take birth again. Then they're just cycling up and down inside of the material realm. That's not the goal. If you're a materialist, maybe. But for a spiritualist, they want to get out of this material world because they understand. I understand what this material world is. Some people don't. I do. It's a place of miseries, birth, death, old age, and disease, and so many other miseries. It's a place of misery. That's what it is. So I want to get out of this material world. I want to go to the spiritual world. That's why I read it. That's why I do hearing and chanting every day. So I can qualify myself. So I can purify myself. So I can enter into the spiritual world at the time of death. Therefore, my Lord, I request you to save me from the cruel hands of Kamsa, the son of Ugrasen. I am praying to your Lordship to please rescue me from the fearful condition, because you are always ready to give protection to your servitors. The Lord has confirmed the statement in the Bhagavad Gita by assuring Arjuna, you may declare to the world, my devotee shall never be vanquished. While thus praying to the Lord for rescue, Mother Devaki nonetheless expressed her motherly affection. I understand that this transcendental form is generally perceived in meditation by the great sages, but I am still afraid because as soon as Kamsa understands that you have appeared, he might harm you. So I request that for the time being you become invisible to our material eyes. In other words, she requested the Lord to assume the form of an ordinary child. My only cause of fear for my brother Kamsa is due to your appearance. My Lord Madhusudan, I wish that Kamsa may not learn that you are already born. Therefore, I request you to conceal this four-armed form of your lordship, which holds the four symbols of Vishnu, namely the conch shell, the disc, the club, and the lotus flower. My dear Lord, at the end of annihilation of the cosmic manifestation, you put the whole universe within your abdomen. Still, by your unalloyed mercy, the Lord puts the whole world in his abdomen. But still, by your unalloyed mercy, you have appeared in my womb. I am surprised that you imitate the activities of ordinary human beings just to please your devotee. On hearing the prayers of Devaki, the Lord replied, my dear mother, in the millennium of Swayam Bhuva Manu, my father Vasudeva was living as one of the Prajapatis. His name at that time was Sutapa, and you were his wife Prishni. At that time, when Lord Brahma was desiring to increase the population, he requested you to generate offspring. Hare Krishna. To be continued. Let's chant. Let's do some Harinam Sankirtan. Harinam, 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 Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, 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 Gantirnyata. There's no other way, guys. This is the way. If you want to get out of this material world, you want to experience spiritual bliss at the highest level, if you want to experience the highest level of bliss, take Harinam Sankirtan seriously. Nitai Goranga Jaya, Nitai Goranga, Nitai Goranga Jaya, Nitai Goranga, Nitai Goranga Jaya Gora Hari, Nitai Goranga Jaya Gora Hari, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana Gora Hari, Jai Sachinandana Gora Hari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Nitai, Jai Jai Gaur, Jai Jai Shri Damayapur. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya, Jaya Nanda Yashoda. Let's do this one. Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe. Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe. Radhe Govinda. Radhe Govinda. Radhe Radhe Shama Sundar Radhe. Radhe Radhe Shama Sundar Radhe. Radhe Shama Sundar. Radhe Shama Sundar. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Nanda Yashoda Dula. Girivaradari Gopal. Gopal, 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 Gopal. Radha, 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 Radha. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar, Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Muna Devi, Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Haribo, Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Sham. Hare Krishna.